welcome. It's me, Persita, and this is Persita's Paradox. So today, a recap on our Thursday thought for Thursday. Self-love, self-care. How do you achieve it? What do you do? Right? So I wanted to come on because I hear the words a lot, self-care, self-love. I say them often, but I realize that so many people ask me, Persita, what exactly do you do when you're in a position of self-care or self-love, or you're taking the time for yourself, or what is it that you call self-care, self-love? Truthfully, for me, it's not always about necessarily what you do. Sometimes it's the things that you don't do that really recap to me an identity of trying to put yourself in a place of self-soothing or self-caring for yourself, or just simply loving yourself. I mean, something as simple as just stopping and reflecting on what you actually have learned and have you applied it in your life. You might say, what do you mean? I mean, we have relationships and situations that we literally walk through, and we don't take the time to actually apply the reflection of what happened and what's happening. So in my day, every single moment of the day, I try to always, of course, be productive, but I'm human. So the truth of the matter is I'm not going to always be on top of my game. And we beat ourselves up so much that sometimes, even while we're thinking we're trying to care for ourselves, we beat ourselves up in that moment and fall into such a place of pity that we miss the moment to actually care for ourselves. We really have to understand that self-care, self-love means that you can envelop yourself within yourself and soothe yourself. So for me, of course, traveling is always going to be something that's great. Well, let's be real. If you don't have the money to do it, are you telling me that you're not going to have yourself in any place of self-care because you can't leave the area? For me, I can go into a closet. I can go and sit on the commode. I can be in the tub. Any moment that is a moment that I identify for myself is just that. I have actually been in conversations with people in meetings and stopped, still being physically in the room with individuals, and have stopped to reflect on something that hit me that I needed to learn from and to soothe myself in, to care for my mind, to make sure that things are great. And I've done it. So I challenge you today to really step out of the box and believe that self-care and self-love has to be something that's always necessarily isolated, because that's not really true. For us, it's easier to feel that way because when you do isolate yourself subjectively, physically, emotionally, it seems as if you're into yourself. But how many times have you sat quietly by yourself, and instead of actually soothing yourself, all of the convoluted thoughts and issues and envies and jealousies and pities come to a surface, and you actually miss the mark? And you miss the mark because you are too busy worrying about the things that you don't have within yourself and how to create this new you, instead of actually sitting in a place of gratitude and being thankful for who you are now, not who you're going to become, but who you are right now. So for me, self-care, self-love really means being vulnerable within myself. Sometimes we'll literally talk ourselves out of just even the logic of knowing what you're feeling, because it doesn't sound right? So if you say, I'm a trainer, and I'll look over and I'll see another trainer and her body in my mind looks better than my own, and I'll sit back and literally pity myself. And then I'll come up with every excuse in the world on why she looks that way. She's gotten her boobs done. She did this, she did that. I had to stop and say to myself, Persita, what does it matter? If that makes her happy, it makes her happy. And who's to say that if you go to the gym, you can only go to the gym to achieve your physical goals? Truth be told, our body types are our body types. And if you're striving for something that you clearly cannot achieve in the gym, and you can't achieve it in the gym based on the premise that you've already put in the work over and over again, made the sacrifices, consistently done it, and been dedicated, there's absolutely nothing wrong with you doing whatever you want to do. So for even the people who shame others and say, oh, but she's gotten her butt done, she's gotten her boobs done, she's gotten a tummy tuck, because truthfully, they shame them because that's envy that's speaking. What difference does it make? Typically, the person who's making that statement does not feel that great about themselves. But see, to actually sit in a self-love, self-care position and own that truth is too hard for most. And for me, that is what self-care and self-love look like. It's a truth. It's a vulnerability within myself that literally lets me stop BSing myself to get to the goals that I want, and to understand that it's my mindset and my off-puttingness that is either hindering me or progressing me towards where I want to go. And it's not easy. When I was growing up, I hated my voice. Absolutely hated the fact that it was so heavy, and most would call me a man. I still get that every now and again on the phone when I talk to someone who doesn't know me. And most will go, oh my God, Priscilla, no, your voice is great. And if I had your voice, and I'm like, that's awesome. But if I don't feel that, and I don't put myself in a place of loving me to accept it and to be okay with it because it's who I am. So I say to you again, there's so many ways that you can find the time to allow yourself to care for yourself. That's what self-care is, or to love yourself in a manner that everything that's right and wrong with you, you're okay with. To the degree that you can actually express it and not feel as if you need validation or, some type of a accolade from others to say that you know it and you do it. Most of the things that I'm telling you, I don't really express out loud. This would be the first platform other than me being in my quiet space that I would even express it. And I'm expressing it in a vulnerable place to explain to you everything that glitter isn't gold. And success is different for people. And you have to understand if you are really willing to do the things that you claim that you want. And if not, then you cannot beat yourself up about not achieving those goals. If you are not saving money, then don't expect to be smart with your money. If you are not in a position where you're a great friend, don't expect great friendships. And you know if you're a great friend, you know if you would hang out with you. Most of us don't want to deal with that point of you wouldn't even hang out with yourself if that was an option. I say that because most have that logic of, oh, no, I'm good by myself. But you'll go on vacation and the first thing you'll jump to do is to get on social media to let everyone know you're on vacation. And you might say, well, I'm just sharing. Ask yourself, is that really true? Or are you narcissistically responding to the fact that you need others to validate that you're successful because of what they think and see? It's a tricky situation. And don't get me wrong, if I go on vacation, I'm the first to want to tell myself that I'm happy I'm on vacation, and maybe or maybe not. My entire life in that entire vacation will be on social media, but it's all in the intent behind it. And I don't need to sit here and argue intent with you because you know what you posted the picture for. You do, So you can say to yourself one thing and say to others another thing, but it only matters what you say to yourself that we're talking about. So today, again, I challenge you, step out of the box. Really love on yourself by doing more than feeling like you have to outwardly express that you're loving on yourself. Just love on yourself. I am definitely the person, I've said it in the last video, you don't need to state the obvious to me. When you love yourself, there's an energy, there's an aura, there's a spirit that permeates around you that is very clear. You don't need to say much, you just do, and it is. A giraffe doesn't need to explain to you that it's a giraffe. You can look at the giraffe and see that it's a giraffe. And you achieve that goal by doing whatever it takes. Quiet time, vacations, book reading, massage, spa, I don't care what it is. Driving up the coast, calling a girlfriend, whatever it is, you have to know what it takes for you to have a reality check. And you want to have those reality checks as often as possible because there is nothing worse than lying to yourself. Absolutely nothing. Most people can tell when a person is lying and they won't even tell you that they know that you're lying. But when you're lying to yourself and you then have the balls to tell yourself you believe the lie is when it gets tricky. So today, I wish nothing but blessings on everyone. I thank you as always for joining in and checking out this video. Feel free to comment and let me know your thoughts on what we're talking about and how exactly you specifically do what you do to care and love for yourself, and just simply soothe yourself. Allow yourself to fail and have the room to grow. Everything is growth, bad and good. God is not just good. He is not just bad. He is everything. And that is what I do when I want to cling to my spirit. I look into myself that way. The good and the bad, I love. The crazy and the sane, I love. Can you tell me you're doing the same thing? I really, really do hope so. So thank you again so much for joining me. Remember to always do 3 things. Live life authentic. Continue to like, share, comment, inbox, smokescreen, whatever it is to get to me, because that is the exact same way I feel on Tuesdays and Thursdays getting to you. And thank you again so much, as always. Remember, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Don't forget to join me on Thursday for the next Thought for Thursday question, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.